I used to think staying quiet was how you kept the peace. If I didn't speak up, nobody got hurt, or so I told myself. That belief lasted until the morning I stepped into my father's garage and saw the shelf where my metal case should have been scraped clean. Rain tapped against the tin roof outside. The air smelled like oil, damp wood, and old years left behind. Dust lay thick on everything. My eyes locked on the far corner, on the sharp, clean outline where something heavy had sat for a long time. No case, no ribbons, no proof that 10 years of my life had mattered at all. In that empty space was a folded note, written in bright pink glitter ink that screamed against the gray. "Don't worry, I'll make good use of them, love." Tessa, my throat tightened. But I didn't cry. I folded the note down small and slipped it into my pocket like evidence. For years, I let her take from me and call it family, my patience, my money, my dignity, while she told everyone I was a difficult one. I had confused endurance with love. Standing there, it finally hit me. Endurance isn't love. It's surrender. Dad was in the living room, the TV blaring, his eyes half shut. When I asked about the case, he barely looked up. "Maybe your sister moved it," he said, like he was talking about a misplaced wrench. "You don't care about that old stuff anymore." Old? The word erased something inside me. I went back to the garage doorway and stared at the empty outline until the rain grew louder, sharper, like it was demanding I hear what I'd been ignoring. I didn't know yet what she'd done with my honors. I only knew I was done giving up. I drove back to Seattle through sheets of rain, the image of that bare shelf burning behind my eyes the entire way. In my apartment, I kicked off my boots and tried to believe it was all a misunderstanding, something I could fix. With one phone call, a week later, my laptop flashed a suggested listing: authentic Air Force medals, original case. I clicked. My case filled the screen, the same scratch across the lid. The ribbons arranged exactly how I'd set them years ago. Price, $250. Seller, Tesbury's. When I called, loud music thumped in the background and then my sister's voice, light and careless. "Cora, oh, you saw it." My chest went tight. "Tell me you didn't sell them." "They were just sitting there," she said. "I needed a deposit for my wedding photographer." "I'll get you another set." "You can't replace what you didn't earn," I said. "You didn't sell objects, you sold my life." I hung up and texted Dad the screenshot. He replied, "Let it go. It's just stuff." That's when I opened my service records. Every medal had an issue ID. The humanitarian 1Hum7K9Q came with a warning: restricted origin, classified operation, night glass. My mouth went dry. That medal was never meant to leave federal custody. 2 days later, during a meeting at Airdyne, my phone wouldn't stop vibrating. I stepped into the hallway and called home. Dad answered, already panicked. "Federal agents are here. They're taking your sister. They say it's stolen property. You did this to us." "No," I said calmly. "She did." An hour later, an email hit my inbox: Office of Special Investigations, statement requested from original recipient, immediate compliance required. That night, a shaky video spread online: Tessa in handcuffs under harsh porch lights, my name spilling from her mouth like an accusation. Before sunrise, I booked a flight to DC. The city greeted me with sharp edges and cold air. At OC headquarters, a woman in a gray suit took my phone and bag and led me into a windowless room that smelled of bleach and hot printers. Special Agent Rowan Keane slid my file across the table. "You're not a suspect, Captain Vale," she said. "But this metal set includes a restricted item tied to Operation Night Glass. We need your statement and the chain of custody." I placed Tessa's glitter note next to the printed screenshot, under the fluorescent lights. "It looked absurd and that mattered. That," I said, "is a chain." Rowan's mouth twitched, almost sympathetic. She recorded my statement, then showed me the recovery footage: my case sealed into an evidence bag, the scratch on the lid flashing like a blink. The buyer had already turned it in. Shaken and apologetic, the classified metal would return where it belonged. The rest would come back to me when the case closed. Outside, my sister's tears kept replaying online. But the story shifted fast. OSI released a statement: unauthorized sale of military property, federal penalties pending. Tessa's wedding page disappeared. So did my father's number. 3 days later, Dad finally texted, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand." Standing on the Capitol steps in the rain, I typed back, "Neither did I." Not until I ran out of silence. When I flew home, the metal case sat in my carry-on, heavier than metal alone. I placed it on my shelf exactly where it belonged.